Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to the next installment of our Student Story Week series. We're here with another group of high school students from Smithville Christian High School in Ontario, Canada. And this session is about life as a student in Canada. Pretty straightforward. What's life like as a student in Canada? But before we get started, I want to know where you all are from. So Aiden, tell me where you're from.
Yeah, I'm actually from China, and my hometown is called Jinan in Shandong province, which is also the capital of that province, and it's a very prosperous city. And there are also a lot of famous attractives, which is welcome for you guys to come over.
Ooh, that's exciting. I would love to. I'll take you up on that invitation. What about you, Bilkis? Where are you from?
I'm from Lagos, Nigeria. It's in Africa.
Very nice. Welcome, welcome. I was in Nigeria about 2 years ago, but I was in Abuja. I didn't see Lagos, so maybe
Oh,
next time.
yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah. And what about you, Shane? Where are you from?
I'm actually from China, just like Aiden, and I'm actually from Jiangxi province, and I'm actually living the city which is called Nanchang, uh, and this is where I'm from.
Awesome. Well, thank you, you three, for introducing yourselves, for representing your countries, and for being student ambassadors for Smithville Christian. We really appreciate you being here. So this topic is something I'm really excited about. Again, life as a student in Canada, and specifically life as a student in Ontario, Canada. I'm sure you guys know, as you know better than anybody, this is a destination that a lot of people are interested in studying in. So I want to know, why did you choose to study in Ontario? Do you have any specific reason why? Would anyone like to speak up on this? Why did you choose Ontario?
So, like for me, before I went abroad to study in Canada, in Ontario, I heard that Ontario actually has a very good environment for study, and also students can talk and create something when they are at high school. What's more, I believe Ontario can also provides a very high quality of the education in high school. It's like maybe like our high school has a very good reputation, which can help us get into the universities and help us make every good choices. And I think it's really nice to study as a student in Ontario.
That's awesome. What about you, Bilkis or Shane? Would you like to add anything about why you chose Ontario?
Personally, the idea of studying in Ontario was proposed to me by my parents, but I was intrigued by the educational system, because I was coming from a French system before coming to Canada. So I guess like the differences kind of intrigued me, and I thought it would be a like a good experience. So yeah.
That's good. The focus on education, that's good. Very good. And what about you, Shane? Why did you choose Ontario?
Then I can talk about the environment in Ontario is compared to other provinces has a very good position. Like Smithville is actually in Niagara region. You guys must be not familiar with the Niagara Falls. It is the place that you must go. Like if you are in Canada during the fall or winter time, you can see how beautiful when the snows drop down from the sky. It's very nice and it's good.
Yeah, yeah, Niagara Falls is incredible,
Hmm.
and that's true.
Very beautiful.
Yeah, and in
Hmm.
Ontario in general, I mean, you have so many cool places close by that you
Right.
can visit, Niagara Falls, and then you can go into Toronto and have like a huge
Hmm.
city. Yeah, so it's a really, really good location. Awesome. I want to know though, I mean, before we get into talking about everything about life in Ontario, Canada, I want to start on the positive side of things. So what are your favorite parts about living in Ontario or about studying in Ontario? To you, what's the best part about it?
Like for me, I think, our Smithville Christian High School is a Christian high school, which means that all students and teachers are very kind, and also my host family is also very good to me. And I stayed, like I lived in the same house for, homestay for 3 years, and I think. mm the most important reason that I study in Ontario is also like people in Ontario, like at high school, treat me very well, and they just give me a different sensation, sensations that I study in China. So it's very different, and people like to create and to play some sports when they like have leisure time.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thank you, Aiden. That's true. It makes such a difference when people are kind to you and when you have a good host family as well. That's amazing. When I was in school, I did a couple different study abroad experiences and I lived with two different host families. One of them was absolutely amazing and they made my experience awesome. And then another host family I had was not as amazing, which also impacted my experience. So it's really, really nice when you have a kind, loving, caring family at your home away from home. So thank you for sharing that, Aiden. Bilkis, what about you? What's your favorite part about life in Ontario?
In terms of living in Ontario, I'd also say my host family because they are really, really kind to me and they're very inclusive. You know, they were amazing when they're trying to make me feel welcome and like I could talk to them about, anything. They're like my second family. It was a great it's been a great experience so far. And in terms of studying in Ontario, I'd have to say the teachers, like this, and the support staff, like they're really amazing. Like, because coming from a different system or a different school, um, it was kind of shocking finding teachers that actually want you to succeed and like actually want to help you and do the best that they can for you so that you can get like good grades and you know have your uh, I guess profile look appealing. So they're really trying their best to like do whatever it is that they can to help you. So
Yeah.
yeah, the teachers are great.
Yeah. That's so important to point out. It really makes a difference when you have teachers that you really feel want you to succeed. I think everybody, well, I wish nobody ever had to experience, a teacher who didn't make you feel like that. But I feel like most people have had some teachers who are better than others. And it really does make the difference when you feel like the teacher actually cares about you and cares about your success. That's awesome. Thank you, Bilkis. And what about you, Shane? What's your favorite part about being a student in
So
Ontario?
yeah, so first will be my host family because because of the pandemic I came back to China like 1 year ago. I just spent 1.5 years with my host family, but that's enough to make the relationship between us because they are very nice family and they just because they and me we can just practice English every day, so that just made my English up. And for the school part, I think my school has like all the teachers have their own styles to teaching and they care about you like every day when you go to school they just care about what your homework doing and everything. And right and our school you can basically see in our school profile is the equipments is very advanced compared to other school, which is very nice. That just provides us very nice environment to study.
For sure. It's always good to have that new equipment. You're on the cutting edge, and that really just takes your education to another level. Awesome. Those are all great points, you guys. Before we move into some of the more specifics about Ontario and like the school and academics, I want to talk about some fun stuff. So take apart the school side. Let's separate that and let's talk about the weekends. Okay, what's your favorite thing to do on the weekend? Like, what do you like to do outside of school? Shane, do you want to go first on this one?
For sure. So, like, I usually would hang out with my friends. Like, we usually go to Toronto or other cities. Like, we can just go shopping or do whatever we want. Because here's a lot of things that you can do in China. Just as a student, normally the Chinese students would just spend their time to like study, like they have a like stress time. Compared to here, we can just go hiking or do whatever fun things we can do because we have enough time. And later, I usually go to the church with my host family, like every Sunday. Is like we have to go to the church and listen to prayers and sing a song together. That's very meaningful for me. Yeah, that Christian really impacts my life though.
That's awesome. I have a personal question for you guys, and this wasn't on the list of questions, and you don't need to answer this if you don't want to, but did you choose Smithville Christian because it's a Christian school, or was that piece new for you coming from another country? Anyone can jump in and answer.
That's new for me, like Christians, because I can just search that online. Christians are like friendly or something. That just yeah. Like that.
What about you, Bilkis? Were you a Christian before coming to Smithville Christian, and is that why you chose it, or was this something new for you?
A Christian school was something new for me. However, my sister, before going to school abroad, she was in a Catholic school. We're Muslims, so it was like a completely, like, extremely different environment. But like,
I'm sure.
But like a very friendly one and a very accepting one. So
that's awesome. And what about you, Aiden? Was this a new experience for you as well, studying at a Christian school?
Yeah, I got to learn about like some things about Christian before I went to Canada, but it's actually totally new for me because I was not a Christian, and also Christian is one of the biggest religions of the world. So I learned some information about this religious, and I think it's very very nice and meaningful for me to get into different environments and different cultures to learn about different nations and different religions, just to help you maybe broaden your horizon and get to learn like different things. So it's pretty meaningful for me.
Yeah, that's a great point, Aiden. It's always good to challenge yourself and expose yourself to what other people believe and what other people live like, whether it's religion or whether it's what you all did by going to another country to study. That's such an impactful experience on just expanding your worldview, and that's something that is going to be extremely valuable to you as you go to university and as you go into the workforce. Like, that's something that people look for, those people who are able to be empathetic and are able to to see the world from multiple points of view and aren't just stuck in a box. So I think that's really admirable that you were all brave enough to go out and expose yourself to something that you weren't familiar with. So that's awesome. But back to our question about what you like to do on the weekends. Sorry, I kind of sidetracked there, but that was really interesting. Bilkis, what about you? What do you like to do on the weekends?
Similar to Shane, I like hanging out with my friends. Sometimes we go into the city. We either go to the mall or go out to eat, or yeah. I mean, right now there's more restrictions because of the lockdown and the COVID situation. But like on a regular day, we usually go out to eat a lot, or like just hang out, game, watch stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
And what about
Canada's Wonderland? So
Sorry?
Canada's Wonderland is pretty fun. So
Ooh, what's that?
Canada's Wonderland?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. What is it?
It's an amusement park, and it's like it's really fun. It's so huge. Some days, my host family and I would like spend the entire day there. It was amazing. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Does it have like roller coasters, or is it like a water park roller coaster?
Yeah,
A lot. I mean, a lot.
That's so fun. So fun. So it's good for the adventurers. Very cool. And what about you, Aiden? What do you like to do on the weekends?
Yeah, there's a lot of things to say like about that, like during the weekend. Like I will just separate into different parts. Like with we have a lot of international students at school, so I have a lot of international friends. So with a lot of my Chinese friends, we often went to Toronto to go to Chinatown, like have some traditional Chinese food like hot pot, dumplings, noodles,
Yummy.
Peking duck, like so many delicious food in Toronto. And with some local students or some friends and some friends who came from maybe I think Nigeria or some countries in Africa. We often went to arena like in Smithville to play basketball, or sometimes we went to the gym to work out. And also with my host family, he calls himself as a non-stop talker, and so he does not stop talking. And he also likes to bring me to the Ontario Lake to go fishing sometimes. So it's really nice to do that. And also he likes to bring me to do volunteer, not just for like the maybe like your task you have to accomplish by graduating from your high school. It's like just for helping people, and it's really nice.
That's amazing. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you all for sharing. So we only have a few minutes left before we're going to wrap up, and we do have a question that came in from a viewer. It's in Spanish, but I'll translate it for you all. So Mafer wants to know if it was difficult to adapt to a new life in Canada. Would anyone like to jump on and answer this?
Yeah, for me, when I just came here, like there are a lot of food is like a little bit hard for me to accept. It's like in Canada, we eat a lot of like bread, a lot of sausages, and also compared to my own country's food that we often eat is not that spicy, not that salty. So it's quite hard for me to accept at the beginning of my time. And also, as an international student, it was not easy to get into the environment of studying, like speaking English only at school. So it takes time for me to get into the habit of speaking English in normal life. So like school also provides ESL program for helping us get into the environment and the studying habit.
Very good. Thank you for sharing. Would anyone else like to jump in? If it was difficult to adapt to a new life in Canada?
Sure. In terms of way of living, there wasn't that many differences that I had to adapt to. Like Aiden said, food was like the biggest thing for me in terms of like what was different. Yeah, I was really homesick. But yeah, like it was pretty much the same as like being at home. And in school, there were differences in like the educational system. So how we did math was different. So I had to learn a new way to do math.
That's
But
a really good point. You're taught a different way. The steps are different.
yeah, not just the steps. Like some signs are different and they mean like opposite things. It was incredibly confusing. But the teachers
Sure.
really helped me. Like especially one teacher. He already had students that were in a French system before, so he kind of knew what I knew and what I didn't. So that like simplified the explanations when like
For
in class.
sure.
So yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, and for any students watching this, Bilky's just made a great point. When you're looking for schools, if you want to study abroad, it's really good to choose a school where the teachers have experience working with international students, because they're going to understand these things about, differences and what you may have learned back at home and how it's explained in the other country. So it's really important to find a school that is accustomed to handling international students. Shane, I want to give you a chance to answer this question before we sign off. Was it difficult for you to adapt?
So for me, the language and the food would be the difficultest thing for to adapt in Canada. Because when I came here, I had one experience that my host family made food with tomato sauce on it. Like I ate it for a week. Like
Oh no.
just yeah, for a week,
Yeah.
the whole week. Yeah.
The food,
That's
yeah. The
yeah.
food is tough. And
Mhm.
even more so when you live with a host family. I had the same experience when I studied abroad in Mexico. It's rude if your host family's cooking for you and if you don't
Yeah,
eat.
right. Yeah, feel it.
Yeah. I had
I know.
my host mom, I remember one time she made this mushroom soup, and I don't like mushrooms, and it was so hard to just like try to
Me
swallow
neither. I
it.
don't like mushrooms either. I just tell my host mother, and like she would put mushrooms on pizza, and I told her that I don't like mushrooms, and she just have a part of pizza with no mushrooms, which is
Well, that's
very
good.
nice. Yeah.
That's good. Oh, we have another question from Lena. Lena's actually our enrollment manager, and she is from
Oh,
Ontario. She wants to
sure.
know if you've tried
Poutine.
poutine.
I have tried. I have like there's one restaurant in Smithville which is called the Pizzeria. If you try to study abroad in Smithville, you have to go that restaurant because that will just shock you. Because the
Mm,
poutine there and the chicken wings there is very very nice. I have to say that.
I love
And
poutine.
I'm in China right now because I'm also trying to make poutines by myself. I just tried the recipes because I think I need to get a French fries and the sauce like that.
Yeah,
Otherwise, yeah, I
yeah,
just tried once to make that like Canadian poutine, which is nice.
yeah. What about you,
Mhm.
Bilkis and Aiden? Do you guys like poutine?
Yeah, poutine is the first type of food that I had when I came to Canada, and it shocks me a lot because I never expected like a type of French fries can be made like this way. So
Hmm.
yeah, I have to say that poutine is my favorite Canadian food, uh, like my favorite Canadian food. It's
Nice.
like there are so many good restaurants that sell good poutine like A&W, like pizzeria. Yeah,
Mm,
a lot of
yum.
places. So poutine is so good.
What about you, Bilkis? Are you on the poutine bandwagon as well? You
Yeah,
like it?
I tried poutine like a couple months after. It was more of like one of my host sister was like, "Wait, you've been here like a couple months and you haven't tried poutine?" So we like,
Yeah.
yeah, I just had to try it. But I've also had, there's also been times where I've cooked, So they've also gotten to try like some of my foods. So
Oh, that's good.
yeah,
That's cool. It's like a little exchange. Oh, that's perfect. Awesome. All right, you guys. Well, we are wrapping up this stream. Thank you, Aiden, Bilkis, and Shane for joining us. And thank you, Marlene, as well, for helping put this together. You all were amazing. And I'm sure this is going to be really, really helpful for our other students watching. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, everyone, we're going to sign off. I will see you next time. Thank